Hello and welcome back to Tripod Talk, the podcast, the official podcast.
No.
I'll start again.
Start again, but without
I was
that.
ready.
No, that's weird.
Hello and welcome back to Tripod Talk, the official podcast of What Pictures, where we talk all things about films, though we do tend to go off on tangents here and there. I am your host, Matt Lidster. We've decided to change things up a little. We're also sat in a different position, which I am not happy about. So to my left, used to be my right, is Adil Anwar.
Yep.
And to my right, to Adil's left, is the one and only ex-host, but it's fine, she still does stuff, is Miss Sophie Ellis.
She still does stuff.
She still does stuff. Who is indeed, is not the host of it, yeah. Alright, so, what
Good
we
job.
are talking about today, I mean, I was going to say for you to tell us what we're talking about today, but seeing as I'm now the host, what we're talking about today is remakes.
Remake.
Hey, didn't see that coming.
Did you not? You should have done, because we talked about it. And we have a very special kind of review edition.
Probably wouldn't be that much of a review.
Not really, but we went to go and see it, didn't we?
Well, we watched the original first, like in our own time, and then we went and watched the next one, me, the next day, which was stupid.
Yeah, no, it was.
Did
It
you
was
do the
the
same
We
thing as
same.
pretty
well?
much did the same thing, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wish someone would have told me it was like 3 hours long, the original.
I saw an hour and a half and I was like, CD1, oh, it must be a typo. Like, well, it would be okay. An hour and a half's about right for a horror film. But it just kept fucking going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what did you think of the first one? Like, the first original one, what did you actually think of it?
Well, I really liked the first half, so I liked it with the kids. It felt like they were kind of... Oh, that sounds great. Alright, don't laugh at me. I felt like they were kind of real, like they really got along. They seemed to be friendly in a real way, and I don't know why, but I kind of liked that. I like those whole E.T., like kids on bikes roaming around type things. And like, I didn't see it as a horror film, so
Yeah.
I was just kind of like a bunch of character stuff with all the kind of kids and their backstories, and then occasionally just like a weird clown would show up. But the main thing was like the second half then started to peter out for me.
Yeah.
And the whole ending with the spider was absolute fucking garbage. So yeah, what do you guys think?
I enjoyed it because I knew it was based around Pennywise the Clown,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought that was a child abductor, like, human.
Yeah.
I had no idea that it could morph into people's fears and stuff, so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And same with the kids, like you said. They all had that sort of bond, and you always knew that, like, Bev would have got around a bit. Even though it
in,
didn't
like, a
show
real,
it.
like, yeah.
Like, halfway through, me and you were like, right, they all definitely fancying something's definitely got to happen.
They played that
But-
so much stronger in the new film. Like,
Yeah.
they made it so obvious everybody being obsessed with her. Like,
Yeah.
the whole thing where she's just, like, lying in the sun and they're just staring at her. It was, like, a minute-long scene. Just to, like, I was just like, I get the point you're making, but you've kind of overplayed this a bit here.
Yeah. Accurate representation of little boys, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, not little boys. Like, until you're 10, girls are just gross and say the fuck away. But then something changes in your head. Effectively, yeah.
What about you? What did you think of the
Well,
original?
this wasn't. I saw it a couple of years ago, so and I thought it was a really good performance by Tim Curry. It was something
Yeah.
I wasn't really kind of expecting because I was expecting like this really deep, dark horror, like really scary thing, but I just found it hilarious.
Yeah.
Like genuinely hilarious. Which I don't know, kind of plays on the tropes of you hear about The Exorcist and stuff, and it used to kind of make people like keel over and
Yeah.
used to be taken to the hospital, and it's just like. It's not scary, especially by these today's standards.
I've never
So.
understood The Exorcist being a scary film at all.
You gotta
Well-
think about context as well, though. Like, back in the day, they would get, like, fucking after-school specials and stuff. Like, people were much more naive about what was scary.
Yeah,
To me,
I
it was
suppose.
just, like, Stand By Me, but with a clown in there. Like, just about the kids and their
Pretty
journey and
much.
growing up and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then occasionally there'd be some, like, slightly weak attempt at scaring me.
Yeah. The only thing that freaked me out in the original was his teeth. I didn't expect it.
Mm.
That's why.
Tim Curry was really good in it, though.
Yeah, I always forget that it's him because he does such a good performance.
I just recently saw him. It's nothing to do with it, but I just recently saw a picture of him on set smoking a cigarette, and it's the funniest thing because he's just like in his own little world, just like.
Just looking miserable.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I was reading the trivia on IMDb, and apparently, like, during one of the scenes, I think it might be the girl who played Beverly, like, was said to him, like, you're scaring me, what are you doing, you're scaring me, and, like, he was, like, in character, like, well, that's kind of what I'm supposed to be doing, but it's fine, we'll hang around later normally, but, like, he stayed in character and was like, I'm meant to be scaring you, you dopey girl, but, like, it was weird because I was like, I wonder how the kids hung around with Tim Curry, and, like, how they were just on the set with that guy,
Yeah.
because you'd think it'd be good for everybody if they were genuinely a bit creeped out. Like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't want them to be having lunch together and going to, like, basketball games and shit in the evening.
Yeah. Well, we were talking briefly about it after the film, weren't we, when we went to go and see it?
Yeah.
Briefly.
Briefly.
Put it lightly.
Oh, so we're talking about the new film now, okay.
No. But in that conversation, you said that when they sat around the table and they had the fortune cookies, that was their genuine reaction, wasn't it?
Yeah, they didn't know.
So I think that sort of adds a bit of... It's nice that they've got that much improv and it works that well. I mean, we have yet to see that scene in the new one, if they do that scene.
I think that was my problem with the old one, though, is that, like, I was so invested in the kids in a way that, oh, fuck's sake. I did, like, with the first half of it, I really liked, but then when it came to the second half with the adults, there was no real way it could, like, meet my expectations.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard for them to just be normal, like, to be, like, as fulfilled all the kind of expectations that they have for themselves and stuff. Then it's
Yeah.
just a bit disappointing, like, everyone's 40 and fat and weird looking, and
Yeah.
just kind of a letdown for me. But that was my main issue with the first one, but I really liked the first half of it. I thought
Yeah.
it was good.
I think for me, it was the bit that it kind of just dragged it out, essentially. Like, if they just chopped all... I know, it like, in the book, it's supposed to be, like, this big, long thing anyway.
It was originally envisioned
Cool.
as an 8 to 10 hour miniseries as well, so
Yeah.
like they cut it way the hell down.
Yeah.
Like, they got rid of some major storylines in the book apparently, which is like over 1,000 pages.
Hmm.
But I think they did a decent job of it,
Yeah.
and I think the new one did a really good job of fixing the mistakes that the old one made.
Yeah. So I
Just to
much
jump on.
preferred... It's like, most of the time, I just kind of... The remake is either as good or just kind of a little bit subpar or a little bit just kind of over, but the new one, for me, was so much better.
Well, I
it was
think-
like a genuine horror.
Yeah.
Like, it was a genuinely kind of terrifying clown at parts, like the bit where... spoiler alert, by the way, if anyone's not seen it.
Yeah.
But the kids go into this house where it lives, essentially, and they put, like, a pipe through its head,
Yeah.
and then it just turns around and it's like, oh, it's still going, and it just looks terrifying. And everyone looks genuinely terrified as well, whereas, like, in the old film, they're just kind of like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just like, something just kind of happens, like, oh, okay. And then-
And they actually explains the whole they all float here thing, like with
Yeah.
the bodies and stuff, and they gave like, I just think this was a perfect film to remake, because too often when they do remakes they just look at really good old films and like, we'll just make that again and put a new guy in it.
Yeah.
But I think this is like, it's got really good source material, and the actual old original one was like good, but close to being really good, but just a few things weren't quite right.
Yeah.
But they were able to kind of use the way films are structured now and little kind of ways of connecting the story together better. Like nowadays, they could make a more coherent film, so it worked for a remake.
Yeah. See, I think the kid actors are the ones that like proper made it for me.
Fucking Georgie
Oh
was
my
unbelievable.
God.
I went on about this yesterday when
You
we watched it,
loved
but
Georgie.
Georgie was one of the best things I've seen in ages.
Yeah, he was really good. I liked them all though. The germaphobe was probably my favourite. You know, the proper
yeah, he's
sassy.
my favourite, yeah.
He was really good. But I think they all really sort of, to me it looked like they connected, because when I read into it, apparently like as soon as they finish filming, they all go out to the cinema together, and they always hang out together every day after
Yeah.
the shoot and stuff, and there's like such a close bond now. And it's just so nice, and because they talk how we would, so when it comes out and they're like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
that's exactly how we'd
And
respond.
making like
instead
your
of-
mum jokes and like
Yeah.
obviously the time it was, your mum like that would have been a big thing, and like he was the edgy kid. He becomes a comedian, doesn't he?
Yeah.
In the original, so like you can see how that kind of like not so advanced sense of humour is there though,
Yeah.
and some of them are good, like your mum jokes or dick jokes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely funny ones are in there.
So what was the story, Adele?
What do you mean? Oh no!
What
you're gonna
happened?
are you seriously gonna? Oh Christ!
I saw a bit of a smirk.
I mean, I
before
can
it
do
looked
this
at
better.
you.
All right, fine. So you're in this weird little town called Derry, right? It begins with a kid called Georgie, who's really close with his big brother Bill. Georgie's going out to take a little paper boat thing along the drains, and he goes out, and the clown is in this drain. That's the first time we get introduced to him. Clown ends up grabbing. Am I just giving away the whole film? Is that what I'm meant to be doing here? But anyway, basically,
Oh,
the clown
wow.
takes Georgie. He goes missing. They're not sure if he's dead. Bill's all messed up about it, obviously. Then it cuts to Bill and his group of friends at school. They meet this girl, Beverly. They meet a fat kid. They meet a black kid. they expand their group, which they call the Losers Club. And basically, Bill gets obsessed with trying to find out, like, the fat kid realizes the historical correlation between all these things happening to kids every, like, 27 odd years. And then Bill gets obsessed with trying to find the clown and kill him because no one else is going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the film kind of just follows the kids trying to work out how to find this clown and then how to kill him. And also, like, you go a bit into their backstory. So, like, Beverly's getting abused by her dad. Black kid's parents died in a fire. And they do a good job of, like, relating the fact that the clown has individualized fears to the actual lives of the kid.
Yeah. That's a good summary. It's
Yeah.
much better than your past few summaries. Bloody hell. But
I get excited and move on to different things.
I know you do. And you forget main parts out.
But yeah, it ends with they hurt him mortally, and they make a blood promise that if he comes back, then in the next 27 years, then they'll all go back to Derry from wherever they are and get rid of him for good.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where the film ends, and that's where it leads into the chapter 2, which is going to be the sequel.
Yeah. I mean, we should definitely go and see it when it does come out, but...
I'm not too...
Yes.
I don't know if it can really meet my... Like, I don't know. It depends who they cast. It'd be interesting to see who they stick in there.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you watch the 1991 as well, like, the resemblance is unbelievable between
Yeah.
the kids and the adults. Like, it does genuinely look like they're the same kind of person. So I think they're going to have to kind of get it kind of on the dot with the kids. But I also think they probably already had a plan in mind when they cast them.
Yeah.
So I think they were already looking ahead to that. And this director now has basically just got, like, carte blanche to do whatever Stephen King shit he wants to do until he fucks it up.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good thing, because I'm always up for more Stephen King stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I remember seeing something about to do with like the casting of the next one as well. Apparently the kids had a choice, or they were just asked like who they wanted to play them in the next one.
That's cool.
And I think the girl who played Beverly Marsh wanted Jessica Chastain to play her in like the next one.
That would massively
Yeah.
And
work.
apparently they're actually in talks with Jessica Chastain as well, so I don't know whether that's actually something they
That
are
would
going
be good.
forward with. Because there were other names like Channing Tatum,
no.
Chris Pratt.
So that's studio names, though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
well, that's what the kids kind of suggested, but I mean, Jessica Chastain would be a good choice.
I can
for the next
see,
film,
I can
but-
fully see her perfect for it. She'll be about the right age as well, because they're meant to be about
Yeah.
what, 40ish, 27 years. They're about 12 now, so they're going to be about 40. So you can't fuck too much with that as well.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, though. Like, if it was Chris Pratt and stuff, as amazing actors as they are, I want it to be as unrecognisable.
I was going to say, I think this is like a general thing we all agree with horror, is that like it's better off with no names than big names, because it just takes you out of the whole
Yeah.
everyman situation of it. Because I think a lot of horror films are based on this is just an average person going through their life, and then they stumble into this fucked up situation and just get messed up repeatedly.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work when it's like Jennifer Lawrence is. Well, I mean, I know she was in a horror film early, but I don't know if it plays much now.
I think it did back then, especially with stuff like Winter's
Oh yeah.
Bone.
Well, she did The Cabin in the Woods as well. Is that the one she did? I think
She
did
was
another
in
one.
House
She
at
did
the End of the Street.
House. That's the one. One of those trash.
House on the Wall. Last House on the Wall.
Something like that.
One of them.
So just to cap off it and our film remakes, did you prefer the new one?
I'm really struggling with this, because first off, I wish I hadn't watched the original first.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that undermined a lot of the potential for me being scared by the new one.
Yeah.
Because effectively with the new one, anytime one of the old school scares, like the first half of the new film basically follows the original, and then it kind of takes its own path.
Yeah.
But a lot of the scares, like the sink thing and whatnot, were just dead to me because I knew they were coming.
As much as I prefer the first one, I'm scared about the second part, because obviously in the original, Eddie dies, and Eddie's my favourite, so...
Yeah.
But it's not going to be the same kid. Like if it was the kid that died, I'd be kind of like...
Yeah, but it's still going to be that sassy character, surely.
Might not, it might change as it gets older, you never know.
Maybe. But yeah, no, I don't really, I'm not really bothered about clowns, but there's something about the way that he ran and twitched and stuff that actually got me. So
What, it?
Yeah, in the remake.
There was something I did notice. I don't know if anyone else caught on to this, but I think they used, for me, it looked like they used a new kind of camera technique that's only been used in a couple of films, where
Right.
they actually, I don't know what it actually is, but it's like they frame the image around like the person's face.
Yeah.
So everything else moves apart from the face, and that's what looks creepy because I've seen it done in a couple of other films.
Oh, it's
I
good.
don't know
Yeah.
if
It
you
gives
guys
like a
noticed
vertigo
that.
Yeah.
type effect.
Yeah.
In it. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
that's
why
why it
his
freaked me
face
out.
looked straight, but everything else was moving around him. And I've seen it done a couple of times, but I think
I think of it as like the progression of, do you know the Hitchcock thing where like you zoom out while you move the camera in and it gives you that kind of like, it's
Yeah.
all of those, like it just messes with your senses a bit, it doesn't seem natural. But yeah, I think I noticed something like that what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's why it freaked me out. I really, really want to go and watch it again. I loved that film.
Oh really?
I thought it was so good.
I just think it did a really good job of like where in the first one you could tell there was a few too many fingers in the pie and they couldn't work out how to condense the Stephen King stuff.
Yeah.
Like in the second part with Eddie being a virgin, like I was just like, this feels like, I know in the book apparently they have like a big thing with Eddie's sexual life and he's not a virgin but he's super confused about shit. I don't know what.
Right.
But basically in the film they were like, we need to stick something in about Eddie's sexual life. Oh fuck it, make him a virgin.
Yeah.
But I feel like they'll be able to do a better job in the remake of just with how films have progressed. Like we're much better on structuring things now in a way audiences know what to deal with
Yeah.
and condensing like big things down a bit. So I think they'll do a better job. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did like a Hunger Games thing and split the second part into two and did like a chapter 2 part 1. But I also don't think they'll do that because they want to follow the old thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'd just do like the adult version and then well, the kid version.
Adult version.
Oh god.
Jesus.
Yeah, Clown's got his dick out.
Yeah, just speaking of, just while we wrap this up, like little bits that I noticed as well. I know other people have picked this up, but you know the 27 years, and then they changed it from 30 years to 27 years to coincide with the film
Release.
being in 1990 to 2015. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
And then there were just little bits in the film that always kind of stuck out for me. I was like, why is something, you know, so much of an issue, whereas it's not shown so much in the original? So, for example, you know, Stan, and he has that issue in the original film with he actually saw what was in the light, although it's not really kind of shown properly. It's just kind of a bit vague, and then he kind of goes back into that pipe. Whereas in this one, in the new one, you actually see him kind of being, his face is being kind of eaten.
Yeah.
So you actually see that he can actually see within that. So that's why he's a lot more scared, you know, because it's kind of...
Yeah, because he's always the most, most reluctant to actually get involved against it.
Because, and now that you can actually see, it's because he was the only one that was truly kind of taken in by that spirit.
Do you not think that Bev was when she was floating?
But she's not afraid. That was the kind of thing with Beverly, isn't it? Like,
Yeah, I
she's
suppose.
like, all you need is for your dad to rape you and you can deal with any horror monster, apparently.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, there's probably better ways of trying to go about it, but that's one steadfast rule, apparently. Just crush your
Well, it
soul.
worked.
It worked for her.
Yeah. Well.
It was a good film, though. I
It
liked
was.
it. I find it hard to walk out of a film and know my opinion on it. Like, I feel like it sometimes needs a bit of time and, like, maybe a repeat viewing.
Yeah.
But that was definitely, like, objectively a good film. I just kind of wish I hadn't seen the old one first.
Yeah. And no one pissed off in the cinema that much. I mean, rattling packets.
Need to be stopped being made. That is ridiculous.
And I got past the fact that the screen was, like, top left as well, because
Yeah.
that was weird.
We were
as
just
well.
in a weird cinema.
We definitely were.
There was like a comedian, I think, that said that they should ban it. Like, obviously hot dogs and stuff is fine, but because it's all packet stuff and popcorn.
It's like they picked the most, like, they picked the loudest foods.
Yeah.
And it's annoying because even if I never eat in the cinema, but if I was, I'd feel super self-conscious. And so, like, how's it an enjoyable experience then? You kind of have to be an arrogant twat to actually enjoy cinema food, because I feel like any decent human being would be, like, feel a bit guilty.
Yeah, choose, like, quietly, whereas everyone that's at popcorn when we've gone just chews with their mouth open. People making out behind us last time, I remember. It's just...
Who takes someone to make out with in the back of a horror film?
In the back of a packed film, that's what I don't get. Go in a quiet film. There's
Yeah.
going to be, especially when, like, there's one film that's currently sold out, there's going to be a film with 4 people in it, and just go and do whatever the fuck you want in there.
I know. Bloody hell. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll all have more points, and I was like, damn it, I should have said that. But,
Well, we talked it all.
yeah, we have discussed this. So, would you like to maybe introduce the film news?
Alright.
Now you're hosting.
I know, yeah. How about you go back in your corner?
It's because you've had the most blank look on your face.
I was trying to figure out whether we should go into film news or carry on talking about remakes and go into the draft. But I've got a bit of film news for you. Right, okay. The Force is ever closer. Star Wars The Last Jedi has officially wrapped ahead of its hugely anticipated release in December. I know you don't care about Star Wars, but... Wait, are you a big Star Wars fan?
Not big. My dad is. I've watched it more than enough times, yeah. I'm kind of invested. I'm not like one of those people who can't wait for it to come out, though.
Like
No.
that.
No, I'm excited about it, but I'm not like, oh, I can't wait for the...
Like you are with the game.
Like with what?
The game. Battlefront.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for Battlefront 2. But yeah, no. So that's officially wrapped, and that's coming in December.
Okay, that's quicker than I thought. Well, aren't they like doing one every year now, effectively, like alternating the
much,
whole
yeah.
Rogue One shit?
And then the official canon's kind of coming out every 2 years.
I really like the directors they picked because I thought that was key to like these films doing well, and they picked like interesting directors. Like they picked the guy who did Looper and Brick, which are two really good films. He was kind of an up and coming guy, and they are picking like up and coming directors, which I like.
Yeah.
So I'm sure I'll be decent.
Mm.
It's hard to be. The thing is, like, expectations are so stupid with people that the way they make it so they can't enjoy the film because you're expecting to be like. I think too many people expect it to be like the first time they watched Star Wars and they were new to that kind of like they were like 12 years old or whatever. And it's like obviously you're a jaded adult now. I've seen 1,000 films. It's not gonna have the same effect on you.
Yeah.
Just chill. If it's a good film, it's a good film.
Fair enough.
But like the vitriol which people like slated the other one because it didn't meet their expectations is just not fair. Yeah.
Speaking of not meeting expectations, that's a great segue. It's a great segue into my next story. Mel Gibson and director sue to stop the release of his comeback film Professor and the Madman, co-starring Sean Penn and Natalie Dormer. So basically, Mel Gibson filed a lawsuit against Voltage Pictures asking that they stop showing a cut of his new film, The Professor and the Madman.
Wow.
Bet that's
I mean,
must be really bad.
yeah.
Not just bad, really bad. I think Mel Gibson doesn't want to put his name to it. Like
Yeah.
It doesn't really
it's
say anything
worse
else.
than
It just kinda-
anti-Semitism.
yeah, it's just a bit of gibberish around it, to be honest. But yeah,
It's rare, isn't it? The only other film I can think of that had something like that happen was, you know, like with American History X, that Edward Norton basically re-edited the film and kind of took over the whole direction it went with, and the actual director wanted to get his name taken off of it because he wasn't happy with it wasn't what he made in his eyes,
Okay.
but he didn't get it to happen in the end.
Okay.
But it's just weird to think like one of like on rating, I think it's like one of the top 10 films ever made, and the director didn't want his name to be put to it because the lead actor had kind of been a twat to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't think of any other situations where.
I love your little film trivia. It just comes out of nowhere.
I know. It's weird, isn't it? It's
and
what my
speaking
brain's
of film trivia,
Stop doing segues.
Sake.
or do them
God help
smoother.
us.
I'm actually-
if
I'm
we ever have a
actually-
sponsor, you're not doing it.
I'm the host, shut up.
Oh no.
No, kind of bringing it back round to remakes. Box office, It becomes highest grossing horror film of all time. It's a bit misleading because it's actually to do with the domestic gross, but it's bagged $441.3 million.
I think it's come at a really good time as well because what other films are out now that you can think of? Because
there's not.
all the awards films aren't out now because they know that you're going to forget about them the entire time it's award season. So I'm sure like around now is a time that you don't really get any big films coming out.
Yeah, I think the only big film, like personally, that's coming out that I'm looking forward to, which is another remake, is Flatliners.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a remake, Flatliners.
I fucked up.
What did is it not?
No, it's not 441, sorry.
That did seem massive. Massive.
That is The Exorcist, and that's still the top grossing horror film on an international basis at 441.3 million.
That makes more sense.
However, it has earned $236.3 million stateside.
So probably, I mean, obviously it's going to crack it at some point. It's just a matter of time, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. So I just wanted to get my numbers right. Sorry about that.
So well done to people who made it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There's films at the moment that aren't. Have you got any more film news?
No, that's my
There's-
film news.
Films in the cinema that aren't doing that well, which are anticipated to do well. Mother isn't doing that well, I don't think.
I can't think of a different film that's got like this, like some people fucking hate it.
Yeah.
And some people say it's amazing. But I can't think of another film that's that like.
To me,
Polarised.
though, it looked like it was going to be interesting because I didn't fully know what it was about.
Yeah.
And it was like a horror thing. And then I read into an interview and Jennifer Lawrence was like, yeah, it's about
I
the
don't
relationship with...
Alright, tell it, I don't care.
it's the relationship with Mother Nature and Earth. And
Oh, is it like a stupid metaphorical
it's
thing?
like, yeah, about how we are with the environment and stuff like that. And she was saying that her and...
Aronofsky.
That's the one. Wanted to achieve something where it gets a message across, and
So
as
he
soon
was-
as I
he
read
was
that, I
just
was
trying
like,
to get a shag.
Yeah.
I don't blame him now. He can make a shit film. Jennifer Lawrence could have been the worst film of all time. It's still worth it from my point of view for him.
I'm still gonna watch it. I think though.
Hashtag Dill for Jen.
I know.
When it's not happening. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'll watch it at some point. I mean, I'm not gonna.
I won't
do-
go to
do we
the cinema
even-
to watch it.
Do we even like? I don't even feel like we judge films anymore based on the box office and stuff.
No.
Like, I think it's more on the perception of like, it's kind of like how long lasting it is. Like, because how many films are there that come out in a year and you kind of see a trailer and like, oh, okay, and then you never ever think about it again. And like, there's got to be thousands that never get any like return action.
Yeah. See, it's weird. Like I was obsessed with Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, and the last one was about. That's gonna be wrong now. Maybe 10 years ago. Around that, and we've waited the entire time for Jeepers Creepers 3. That was supposed to be out this year, but there's been no trailer released at all, and it's supposed to be out in October. But then obviously, it came out that I don't know whether can I say it?
Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That the director has been done for child molesting.
Who is it?
I can't remember.
Oh, it's not Polanski, is it? No, it's the horror director. All right, cool.
But yeah, there was like a massive conflict between that, and then the producer didn't want to put the film out, and so there's a massive delay just in that. I forgot where I was going with this point though. Why did I bring up Jeepers Creepers?
I don't know. I was talking about like films having legacies, I guess, and then you were just talking about
Oh, it's gone now.
yeah, whatever. It's
Well, there's a bit of film news. It's not going to be out for a while.
fine. For all you people dying for Jeepers Creepers.
Right, okay, so shall we move on to the draft?
If you want
You
to.
Go on then, how about
I'm not. It's on airplane mode. It's just, sorry.
you get us on the draft?
Okay. Well, I'll just explain very quickly to people who don't know. The draft is where I give scenarios to the boys.
Boys!
All right, fine. Forgot we did
It's
that.
so loud.
Oh yeah, sorry.
And they have to pick film characters under that genre of the week to make up this scenario. Now, the past couple, last week's went okay,
Yeah, last week's was good, I think.
Yeah.
but
The ones before.
the ones before, I can't fully remember the scenario.
Let's just leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that didn't go that well, but I'm looking forward to this one. So it's remakes,
Yup.
okay?
Okay, 4 characters.
4
Is
characters.
it? Cool.
4 characters. Alright.
I'm gonna write these down. rather than
Okay.
Just forget.
Oh yeah, I always forget to write down what the...
You have to pick 4 characters to make the ultimate warrior against an army at war. You'll need someone's head, which will also hold their personality. Somebody's body, but you have to include their legs for their speed. Oh no, they're 2 separate ones, sorry. So someone's body, so
Yeah.
if someone's strong, you need someone.
Yep.
Then the legs for speed or getting away, and someone's skill set that you need to put to that body
Jesus.
to create
Right.
the ultimate warrior.
Okay, I actually went for a little bit of a curveball in my answers, so I'm actually already prepared for this one.
Oh god.
Go on then. Do you want to go?
Yeah, I'll go
Do you want to go,
first,
mate?
'cause-
Sorry.
That should be the tagline for this, the draft.
wanna go?
You want to go, mate? Right, let me just kind of put them all together first of all.
Alright, let me think these through. Whose head do I want?
Well, this is going to be...
Don't laugh at that. Oh, child. Okay, wait.
Okay.
Fuck it, I'll black it. I mean, I know what I'm doing.
Are
you gonna start?
Put this person here. Don't worry about it. I am gonna start in just 1 second. I'm just gonna put this around here.
I don't think I can do it. I really wanted to
you
put Lindsay
are gonna-
Lohan from The Parent Trap in, but I don't think I could fit it into this situation.
Oh, was that
That was my teenage. That was my
Yeah.
curveball that I had ready.
you'll understand where my curveballs are coming in a minute. So, for the head, you're going to have someone who's screwed on, right?
Okay.
That's a good
Someone
example.
who's sneaky, someone who knows how to get about, someone who knows how to slip and slide in a direction.
Oh, fucking hell.
They need to shift.
I don't like
Say
that.
the name.
Okay, I'll say the name. Lawrence Jamieson, who is Michael Caine's character from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Jesus.
Right.
If I think that's obscure, like I never
seen that film?
I haven't seen it now.
It's a great film. It's about Steve Martin and Michael Caine, basically two scam artists trying to outcon each other.
Cool.
It's fantastic.
Like that.
It's absolutely fantastic. So yeah, it's just like he's got a great smart mind about that, and he's always trying to outwit his opponent.
Okay.
So you need that kind of head in this warrior game. Now, for the body, I've got two curveballs, and they come fantastically well on this. The body is King Kong.
Oh jeez.
Big King Kong. All right. I mean, who's going to take?
King Kong and Michael Caine.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
it's a tiny head,
Right.
but big arms, big bod.
Big
Oh
boy.
Jesus.
Ultimate strength, but you've got to have a lot of leg power to hold up that strength, don't you? Who's my other curveball?
Oh no.
Godzilla.
I knew it.
The legs of Godzilla.
Okay.
The body of King Kong.
I
the
feel like
head.
this is a cheat. I feel like you can't beat this guy. I mean, can you imagine his little tiny head teetering on King Kong's body?
Michael Caine's voice
Yeah.
as well. So,
Michael.
hello, Governor. With the
God.
skill set of Billy Costigan, who is Leonardo DiCaprio's character from The Departed.
Nice.
Who is he's like a double agent, as he's in the police, but he's part of the gang as well, so he's got great skills to do with, like, you know, taking people out and guns and all this. Well, we don't need guns when you got the power of Godzilla and King Kong in one. So that is my ultimate warrior.
Dill, you poor bastard.
Yeah, I've already lost this because I'm just going to go with normal humans. Okay, right. This head and the skill set thing's confusing me. Alright, fine, let's go. I'm going to say for the head, actually, right, I'm going to start at the back. For the skill set, I'm going to take Jeff Bridges' character from True Grit. He knows how to track people. He's used to being alone as well and working against higher numbers, which is always good. And he's obviously got the gun, whatever. He's good with a gun. So you can use that. That's got his personality. And he's kind of laid back. He's also a drunk, which I like. And
Is that what you look for?
yeah, that's what I look for personally. For the body, I'm going to go for Casino Royale. I'm going to take James Bond coming out the sea, all that shit. Big, muscly, get all your mums wet. Sorry. Sorry. I didn't expect that to come out of my mouth. Oh no. Alright, fine. I've made my bed, I'll lie in it.
Okay, you beat King Kong.
Alright, legs. Oh shit. I'm gonna keep pushing on. Legs, I'm gonna go for Tom Cruise from War of the Worlds, because basically he's just fucking running away the entire goddamn film.
I'm carrying people as well, you know.
Yeah, he's got his dumbass kids to try and deal with who just had to have like a fucking big teenage problem in the middle of a goddamn apocalypse. Like, I feel like it doesn't matter how bad your hormones are, if there's a giant robot from space coming after you, you don't really think about your issues with your dad.
That's true.
But fuck it, it's a film. And skill set, have I got to do skill set still? Who am I doing?
You said you skill. You need the head.
Oh, I need the head. Alright. Oh my god. Oh fuck.
You can have two lots of skills and no head, but I think you're gonna be.
Yeah, I'm just deciding on a head. You took DiCaprio. I'm gonna take Matt Damon from The Departed. I was dividing between him and someone from 310 to Yuma, but I just think Matt Damon has got the whole. He's lived for a long time, like as a traitor in the midst of people, and kind of lived undercover. So I think he's kind of knows how to deal under pressure, work in kind of quick situations when he's just got to kind of react on the spot. And he's also had to deal with some pretty fucking unstable people, i.e. Jack Nicholson, being the human being Jack Nicholson, not the character, because that man is crazy. But those are my people. I've stuck to humans, which is limiting. But yeah,
So we have a massive boy.
you have a massive, with a tiny Michael Caine head. By the way, Michael Caine is also like, how old is he in that film?
About 50.
Yeah. Tiny 50-year-old Michael Caine head on King Kong's body.
Kong
On
King.
Godzilla's left. Does that mean he can climb as well? Because he's got King Kong's like arms and upper body strength, but he's just got little Godzilla legs kicking in the air as he's trying to climb.
I'm talking about Godzilla from the 2014
Yeah, the
version.
remake.
The massive one.
The massive Godzilla.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, you were fucked on that one.
I mean,
But though he does have the body that makes mums wet.
See,
so
as soon
you've
as
got
you
that.
said that, I had a great
Oh, no.
way that you could kind of use that. So you get all the mums in the world
Oh, Jesus.
around Godzilla, right? And then you just show the bod, and then it's just an instant
I was going to say.
slipping hazard.
Well, then just have like
And then Godzilla's just gonna fall, and I don't know why I'm helping you out, but
That's definitely not helping though, is it?
yeah, like as war, like I don't think that's in the art of war. Like in terms of techniques for battle, I think it's pretty low down the list.
you wouldn't expect it though.
You wouldn't expect it. I mean, if there's your guy coming, that's about as reasonable a plan as anything that we could do. Other than just like drop, you could just drop a nuke on whatever. I just lead you to the country and then just drop a nuke on you. That's the only way to deal with your villain.
It's just as soon as your general just kind of sees King Kong coming over, he's like, "Ladies,
No! Then just like Daniel Craig jumps out from behind a wall and starts stripping.
He just presses one button, all the pants just go. Oh dear.
I just imagine like a giant banana, like Mario Kart style. Like instead of all of them, just like have that, and then just somebody like genetically engineer a massive banana and just like leave it in front of him, or giant green turtle shells. Sorry, I'm making this about Mario, but that's what I'm thinking about now. Apparently,
It's alright.
I think I've gone in like a Yoshi direction.
That took a turn
Weird
that I
turn.
did not expect.
Both of us kind of.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect to. I like the remakes were a good idea going for the monsters there. I think you took it with that. It's pretty unequivocal that you
I
win
didn't
in
think
my
it'd be a
battle.
warrior situation, so I was thinking it was more just kind of like a helping someone out situation. So I was like, Godzilla can kind of guard the perimeter.
I mean, I don't even know if yours counts as a warrior or is just like general chaos.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have any plan, even with Michael Caine's head in there. Like, it doesn't know what Michael Caine's thinking. Like King Kong's body's doing what King Kong wants to do.
Self?
I really don't think there's a way to beat you on that.
Yeah.
But you covered the big
Just on
boys.
pure physical strength.
Yeah.
Well, it's like this one like 6-foot guy against like a 200-foot. I don't know. I'm not good at distances, but like a massive ass monster.
Yeah.
I don't see how I can win it. I could just set you on fire.
Yeah, that would work.
I mean, James Bond has got like, he's not the head, but he's got MI5 and 6, doesn't he? So I could just drone the fuck out of you. But again, you've clearly got this one.
I mean, yeah, Godzilla took a nuke and it still didn't really kill him.
Did he? I've not seen the remake because I'm not an idiot.
He survived.
Did he?
Yeah.
What does he do? Just
Well,
like claim
that's
Japan?
what they're trying to-
Then he just cuts to 20 years later and there's nobody in Japan. Godzilla's just cruising around like sat at Starbucks alone. Looking all
No,
fancy.
apparently, you know the Kong, the Skull Island? Kong
Yeah, the
Skull Island?
one with Tommy Wilson.
There's a post-credit scene in that where the characters from that film are taken to have you seen it?
No.
Well, they're taken to an interrogation room, and basically it's setting up a load of different films coming together.
Kong vs on Godzilla.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
So they were showing them all the archive footage from a load of different things, and then just at the end you see like the Godzilla like drawings and stuff, and then it's just like that screech that was from the film. It's like, oh shit, these guys are gonna cross over. Okay.
That just sounds like an absolute piece of shit. It just sounds like an opportunity to do a bunch of CGI and do one of those like Batman versus Superman, just destroy a city for no reason things.
Yeah.
I'm not too keen on that idea, but I mean, your character clearly worked. It was a good scenario as well,
Yeah.
Mm.
so that was good.
I wasn't expecting that. No, it's fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thanks.
Cool.
So I was thinking, I know
Oh God, don't think, please. We've told you.
I know you're the host and stuff, but is there any remake that you think is better than the original?
Mainly just from what I've seen, because most of the stuff that I've kind of seen from now are stuff that are made from like the late 50s, like early, like, 40s and 50s stuff. So it's like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels was a remake from a film back in the 50s. It's 310 to Yuma was also a remake, which we've talked about before as well. The Lone Ranger was as well, which we can, a nice little callbacks to other episode we talked about. The only ones...
Wasn't Magnificent... Oh, I didn't do it last time.
Magnificent Seven.
Yeah. That's like Seven Samurai. Was that?
Yeah, that is a remake.
Yeah, but I've not seen that. So
I mean, I think the problem with making this, like judging this, is like we've not seen a lot of the originals. Because I know things like Cape Fear's a remake. Casino Royale, I guess I definitely prefer the newer one.
Yeah.
The old ones are a bit too jazzy and dumb for me. Ocean's 11's a remake. A bunch of them are remakes, but you don't really know they're remakes. Like there's a Nolan film called Insomnia with Al Pacino. Apparently that's a remake as well. But
even Scarface is a remake.
That's true, yeah.
And that's going to be remade again.
Yeah.
With rumoured to be Leonardo DiCaprio to play Scarface, which completely
I don't want
ruins
that.
it. No, me neither.
I don't want that. I like DiCaprio, but I don't want that.
The only one that I know that I've seen both of, and I actually do prefer the original, is Total Recall.
Yeah.
Which, have you seen any of them?
No.
You've seen them? Both?
I've kind of seen the original, but didn't really make much of an impact. I was probably like 12. But I quite like the remake. I feel like the original's probably better though. Like
it's just because it's classic Arnie.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're just there to have a good time with Arnie, so.
You're just there to have a good time with Arnie.
I mean, that's what he did. He's in town.
He's in Manchester.
Yeah, and he was spotted. Last time I saw he was in Leeds. But he was around in town in Manchester.
Fun girl, aren't you? Last time I saw him, he was in Leeds.
It does sound like you follow him around.
No, I got told.
Like a t-shirt.
No, it's just because I got told about it today. But no, apparently he's in Manchester.
Cool.
Oh.
Is he making appearances anywhere?
I don't know. That was the thing. He was just around town. I was just like, oh, right, okay.
Thanks. There's a few that I've seen the original and the remake. So, The Fly and The Thing, mainly horror films.
Yeah.
And there was like the new Nightmare on Elm Street that was remade in years ago. I don't know the date, but that was absolutely shocking because I think sometimes if you have that so much love for one actor in the original, like I thought with Tim Curry in it that no one would beat that, but I really liked
the kid in this one.
Yeah, so. No one can replace Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, so it'll just piss me off anyone who tries.
I think horror films do remakes well, though. Like Dawn of the Dead's a good film that was remade, and I think like Evil Dead 2 or something.
Yeah.
But there are a few. I don't know if that's a remake or a sequel, but I think it might be a remake. But there's like, I don't know. I think with horror, it's kind of almost easier to remake it without fucking it up.
It depends though, because it's like Amityville Horror. And that's been redone a couple of times and then spin-offs from there, and it's literally just the same story, just different actors.
Yeah. It depends whether they're going in like a Resident Evil direction, where they're just trying to pump them out and make a bit of money back.
Even Psycho tried it, and then...
Well, like Gus Van Sant tried to do he's done a shot-by-shot remake of it, didn't he? Which is just a massively, like, indulgent thing for a director to do. Like, the world doesn't need that. Why did you just waste, like, 2 years of your life making that? And I like Gus Van Sant, but everyone's got to be allowed to be an idiot every now and again, I think. That was just his time.
I suppose, like, live actions from animated films would be classed as remakes, right? Like 101 Dalmatians, Beauty and the Beast and stuff.
Oh yeah, like they're redoing Aladdin, aren't they? Doing a live action.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with that. I'm sure they've got someone dumb to do. I'm sure we talked about it recently.
Yeah, there's Will Smith playing the genie.
Will Smith's the genie, yeah. And I'm just bored of Will Smith. He's just Will Smith. He's not an actor. Yeah. Everything he does is just Will Smith in varying degrees of like shape and hair. Like he's still just being like Pursuit of Happiness is one I can think of where he kind of acted. Hancock's a bit darker, but he's always still kind of Will Smith.
Yeah.
Like just this cool, like charismatic dude who people kind of want to hang around with.
See, I think it'll always be like, if you really liked the film when you were younger and they're trying to remake it.
So you're never going to be happy with it.
Yeah, they're redoing Drop Dead Fred, and I was obsessed with that when I was
younger. They're redoing Jumanji with like...
It's out.
Is it out?
It's either...
I know it's like
coming out in the next
The Rock
couple of
and
weeks.
Kevin Hart and shit like that, and I'm just like, fuck off.
No one was happy with that.
Leave my stuff alone.
See, I quite like the look of it, but then again, I never saw the original, so...
You've not seen Jumanji?
No.
My God. You need to see Jumanji. But like with Drop Dead Fred, they're replacing Rick Mayall with Russell Brand
Yeah.
as like this like playful,
Well,
irritating.
I was gonna say like Rick Mayall's an actor. I don't really think of. I know he's an actor, but I don't really think of Russell Brand as an actor.
No.
Like, can you imagine him doing a part where he doesn't seem like Russell Brand?
No.
Even when he's been like a rock star or like a couple of times, and he's done like a socialite playboy thing, but like
Yeah.
he's always Russell Brand, just like a cool, tallish dude who likes shagging. But he's not really. I don't really think of him an actor, so it's almost disappointing that he's doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to watch it to see what they're going to do, but I'll be annoyed the entire time I'm watching it, I think.
They're doing a sequel to Space Jam.
Are they?
That's one I'm not sure if it's a remake or a sequel, but it's going to be with LeBron James instead of Michael Jordan, who is like the...
LeBron.
Is this like a meme thing you guys do?
Sorry?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was.
Oh, she's just been watching a lot of Vines recently, and there's this one
That's what I mean,
kid.
it's like a meme thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you say meme.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no.
That was a kid just says LeBron.
No, it's like LeBron James.
Oh, no, I've seen that
LeBron
one.
James.
But you give me the look, that's why it reminded me of it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So why are they made, Adele?
What?
Remakes.
What are you doing? Just dumping them. This is second time you've done this to me like last hour.
Why are they made?
Because they make money and it's an easy studio decision. Because like they just decide, well, again, I always rant about this, but like we'll just get whoever's name is big right now and just attach them to these films and people will go and see it because
Yeah.
they like this guy. Like they do it with The Rock now. They did it with Chris
Mm.
Pratt before. They're kind of doing it with Jennifer Lawrence, but I feel like she's a bit more of a, I don't know, I'm just going to defend her to the end of the earth, but it feels like she doesn't really know what's going on.
Hashtag Dill for Jen.
Plus, I feel like she can pull it off a bit more. Like, you can see her as many different characters, whereas Chris Pratt seems to... You'll always see Chris Pratt as, like, a... Chris Pratt.
Well, it's just funny, like, I don't know, he's always just been like a funny, like, likeable guy. Like, they're just looking for people who are likeable. Like, The Rock
Yeah.
screams it. I don't know who else they are, but I suppose with Will Smith, they're doing remakes. I just think, well, like, whenever they're made, they're not made for reasons that make a good film. They're made for business and financial decisions and whatever. But they're
Yeah.
not made because somebody's obsessed with like, this It is made because the writer, the guy who wrote the first season of True Detective, he wrote this, like Cary Fukunaga or something, and he's been trying to get it made for years and years. Like, he's massively obsessed with this film, like It, and wanted to remake it.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's good, because there was one guy who kind of took the lead and said, like, and then he found the directors as well, and the director and his wife are, like, both obsessed with it. So, like, there was those three people who, like, drove the whole thing and were, like, genuinely really passionate about it. And I think that works better than, like, who's directing Jumanji? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a passion, it's just a studio project rather than a passion project, and I think that's why they kind of suck. It's all about ticking certain boxes and just hitting a certain sense of nostalgia that people like.
Yeah.
Do you think that's why people like Nolan and stuff always kind of get that extra buzz around stuff, because it's like, oh, it's this person's project, this is what they've been working on, whereas it's just like any sort of film coming out now, it's like, oh, this is coming out. It's like people genuinely get hyped for stuff like that. Like when Tarantino makes a film, everyone's like, whoa, it's not like just a generic film that's kind of coming out.
Yeah, see, I don't really know directors like you two do.
Yeah.
But, like, when it comes to, say, horror, well, John Carpenter's done many horror films, and then he did a lot of the Halloweens and didn't do a few. And then he's releasing the new Halloween next year. And because he hasn't worked on it in such a while, it's still like it's all built up because he's the one that's...
Yeah, it's almost like good he didn't do a few because it's such a big deal about him
Yeah.
going back to it.
But, like, to me, I'll probably just watch a film and not think, oh, the director's this and this person. Like, if we watch a film, I'm like, no way they directed it. And I'm like, don't know who that is. But, yeah. But I was looking, there's so many remakes that are coming out next year. Like, Ace Ventura.
Oh shit! Are you joking?
Yeah, they don't know who they're gonna be, but that's in the works.
Who would you have?
I would set everyone on that set on fire because they shouldn't be doing that.
I know they shouldn't, but if you had to choose one actor now to reprise the role that Jim Carrey...
Right, do you know who just came into my head, and I don't know, I think it was because I was reading about him doing an audition, apparently. Do you know who Will Poulter is?
Yeah.
From Where the Millers, he's like the kid and stuff. I think he could do it, because I can't remember what film it is. No, I think he auditioned for the clown in It first.
He did, yeah.
And apparently, like, he wasn't in makeup or anything, but he was fucking amazing. And I just think like he hasn't had a really good part yet, but I think he could do something really interesting with it.
Yeah, you're interested with
And I want someone younger.
Yeah, I absolutely love him. Because I
weird.
first started seeing him in School of Comedy, like the sketch shows that he started off in.
I didn't know that.
And that was like a couple of series long, and I loved that. He just made me laugh all the time. And then to see him in We're the Millers and grow from that.
I think he's got to be relatively young, so think of like a youngish actor with like a big exuberant personality and like plays things big. Can you think of anybody? Because that's what it is. That's what Jim Carrey is in Ace Ventura.
Well, genuinely, the most opposite thing came into my head, and I just thought Michael Cera.
I would fucking love that. I love Michael Cera in general, but yeah, that'd be cool. I'm trying to... Who just plays things... I mean, Will Arnett could probably do it, but it's the wrong look. And he's a bit too old.
Yeah, he's like as old.
I'm just trying to think who does that kind of goofy.
They're redoing Cube.
Oh, shit. Flatliners looks good, by the way, speaking of remakes.
It does really... Yeah, I'm really looking
And I like the casting, like the... What's he called? The guy from the Pedro Pascal, I think he's called, and Ellen Page and stuff. Like, feels like we haven't seen Ellen Page in a while. And I'm glad she's back. She's good.
Yeah.
She's good, yeah.
Like, she did that film where she traps a pedo, which is good.
That is great. That's the first ever film I watched on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know why it always sticks in my head, but it does.
You say that like Hard Candy, is it?
Hard Candy, yeah.
There's speaking.
That's a remake, by the way. It's a Japanese film or something first. Because obviously Americans can't come up with that idea themselves.
Yeah.
It's way too edgy.
Speaking of live action, next year they're doing Dumbo.
That's
Tim
a weird one
Burton's
because
doing it.
I don't know if anybody's really nostalgic for Dumbo nowadays. Was Dumbo a big part of it? Like, did you already watch it? No, I feel like we were kind of past it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I've seen it twice.
And Tim Burton can fuck off as well.
Tim Burton took
interest in it. You can't make two good
it.
films and then just hang around the film business for 15 years making shit.
It says Aaron Kruger's working on screenplay. He wrote the last few Transformer movies.
Oh dear.
God.
But we're waiting to see whether Dumbo or Beetlejuice 2 will be Burton's next film. Colin Farrell is reportedly attached to Dumbo as well.
Is it like emotionally or like the project?
But Escape from New York. Why are you redoing that? But yeah, let's move on from that because that'll annoy me.
I'm still trying to think who we could get for Ace Ventura, but I don't know. It's really hard to cast. Because you kind of want an unknown as well, I think. Like, I think it's better if it's not really somebody that famous.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also just taking a massive blank on, like, young actors who are doing, like, major good work right now in comedy. I can't really think of anybody.
No. Not that's... No. No, I'm thinking of the kids from Star Wars, but they're not really kids.
No, yeah, I don't know.
So
but then, to be fair, like, Tim Curry was a massive curveball in casting, and that paid off big time. So maybe they could go in a different direction. It's hard to just keep yourself open to it, because I feel like I'd be down. Like before I even watched it, I would not be giving that film a chance. Just because Ace Ventura is such a specific, like, kind of fond memory. Like, it's such a kind of happy film.
Though most curveball castings usually turn out quite well. Like, the most high-profile ones I can think of right now is, like, Heath Ledger as the Joker, and then also Ben Affleck as Batman, and everyone just completely recoiled when those, like, news first came out.
Yeah.
And then since the films came out, they were, like, the best thing since sliced bread, as soon as they came out, you know.
I've never heard anyone under 40 use that.
Oh, well, I'm an old man inside.
Yeah, fucking bint, bro. That's what young people say.
Yeah, fucking tight, man.
Please stop.
Does anyone got any last words on the remake?
Last words?
Thank you for joining me this evening.
Podcast with a murder in it. That'll get some views.
I would. Bags are not dying.
Oh, shit. Fine, I'll take one for the tea.
Come on, then.
Yeah, I don't think so. I feel like horror films get a lot more remakes.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
it's hard to
and
come up with
sequels.
a like original idea with a horror film, though, isn't it? And like, have you? I don't know. I think it's hard to make a horror film. You've got to have people invest in a certain amount. You've got to show a certain amount of scariness, but also withhold enough. Because if you show everything, it's kind of shitty.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get the right balance.
Yeah, because if you wanted to involve zombies, you've got to do it in a way that's different to, like, Resident Evil, and then that's why Train to Busan was so good, because it was
Sprinting
just,
zombies.
yeah, just terrifying.
And they're Korean.
So,
it's
dear, you found.
No.
Well, that's where the show's ending.
Yeah.
Yes. So, where can people find us, Sophie?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, YouTube, and
Pinterest.
our website.
And our website, www.wehaveatripod.com. Now, what can people do if they go to Patreon, Sophie?
No,
Sophie,
please
Sophie,
don't.
Sophie.
You explain this every week.
Well, basically, if people want to help out the show, they can go there and they can help out everything that we do, which would be much appreciated. But you don't have to, so it's fine. Adil,
Yeah.
how you doing? You alright?
I'm okay, yeah.
Okay. So, I've been Matt Lidster.
Nope.
What?
Oh.
What did
there's
you
more.
forget?
So next week.
Oh, wait a
Oh,
minute.
shit!
Hang on. There's another bit.
The host fucked up.
Oh,
I
tip
did.
of the week.
Tip of the
Oh
week.
no, you're going to miss out on this gold.
The first time you're a host and you fuck it.
Hey. Dear. Right. Okay, I got a little film tip for everyone right here. Okay?
Why are you going into like a sexy voice?
He keeps like eyeing up the microphone.
I know,
so
yeah.
it's weird.
I feel
Hello
like
there.
I'm getting a little bit like in an involuntary threesome right now. It's getting pulled
Well,
into
if you
this.
stay a bit longer.
You, Matt, and the mic.
Oh
It'd be
dear.
pretty embarrassing if they just like focused on the mic instead of me as well. Just sat there all left out to an inanimate object. But continue, Matt.
Yeah, my film tip of the week is a little bit more of a recommendation, sorry. But basically, always invest in decent sound equipment, because if you make a film and it sounds terrible, it is...
Stop looking at the microphone.
Yeah,
It's so
it's
weird.
really weird.
It's so weird.
Okay.
They're not real.
It just helps me focus.
Okay.
Helps me find my inner chi, Sophie.
Right, we'll go on, Karen, looking at it then.
No, you made me self-conscious about it now. I'm going to have to turn away from whoever's listening. But yeah, basically invest in sound equipment, because if your film sounds shit, your film will be shit. So,
Oh, that was pretty well summarised.
thanks.
Summarised. Not summarised.
Summarised.
Summarised is a word, but doesn't work there.
So next week!
Soph's recommendation?
It is, and I was thinking if we take the approach of psychological thrillers.
Oh,
Ooh.
Sophie.
Please stop
Like
with
a
that.
date with me?
Hashtag Dill for Jen.
Oh.
I'm really...
Jen for Dill.
I'm actually gonna. I'm super curious to like look in a day and just see. There's no chance of it happening. Maybe not in a day, in like 100 years.
100 years.
Yeah. Like just imagine like civilization. Like can you imagine? Right, civilization falls apart in about 400 years. They find just the podcast. Like Dill for Jen becomes a massive thing in the future. But yeah, go on. Watch.
So, I thought that it'd be a good genre for next week,
Okay.
because there's so many to talk about, like Memento, Shutter Island.
Don't give the game away.
There is loads.
Yeah, don't give them all away.
Well, oh no, but like the reason that I picked that is because I think other than horror, it's my favourite genre. Like me and you went through a massive phase of watching so
Shite
many.
ones.
Circles, alright. Really old, like cheesy ones. But the psychological thriller I've never watched and always wanted to, so I'm sorry if you have seen it, is Donnie Darko.
Okay, I've seen that,
Okay.
but I do need to rewatch it, so I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I've seen bits of it as well. So
I know it's got something to do with a rabbit, that's literally it, and it's got, I can't pronounce his name ever.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
There we go.
boom.
So I've wanted to watch it for a while.
Alright.
So, yes.
That'd be my ideal job, by the way. Just sitting around like filling in the names of stuff for people and just just using
Just-
random knowledge like that.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, Donnie Darko's a cool recommendation. I'm up for that. I remember thinking it was a cool film. Like it's pretty weird in a way.
Yeah.
Like it might not have as much an effect on me now as it did back then because I've seen more films, but I think it's a good intro to like kind of those a bit more kind of indie films for people.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay.
So where can people find us,
We've
Sophie?
already done
Don't worry, we've already been through this. That's the end of the show. Is everybody
I said
happy?
that so depressed.
I know, yeah.
We've
done
already
it.
fucking done. There will be a murder.
So
on
next
the
So next week it's me and Dill.
You said that last week.
Well,
So I've been Matt Lidster. You've been.
Adele Anwar.
And you've been.
Sophie Alice.
Right, see you.
See ya.
Oh, see you.
See you.
See ya.
Have a great day.
Yeah, have an average day.